fun. I worked for some great guys, been in some great games, and, been in some interesting atmospheres.
4 decades. Now that's a long time, but it might not seem as long of a time when you're doing something you love. In 1978, Hal Lusk from Florence, Mississippi started in the world of sports as an athletic director of Jackson Public Schools for 18 and a half years and the assistant AD 5 years before that, before retiring in 2008 to referee full time.
And one thing led to another, and now I'm over two NAIA leagues, Mississippi Junior College and Alabama Junior College.
So just how much has changed in over 42 years?
Nowadays in college basketball, I go back to 1978. I was making $5 a game, and when I quit in Division I 3 years ago, just about all the checks are $3,000 to $3,500 a night. So it's a pretty big gap in there.
Some people may wonder, what is it like being an officiant? What's their schedule or day to day? And well, is it easy?
You get on an airplane and you fly every day, and you get back home Sunday and you regroup and you leave Monday or Tuesday or whatever the schedule calls for. You leave again, and I tell people that 4 months out of the year I was on an airplane about 150 times.
And let's be honest, you either love the referee or have a strong dislike for them, depending on the calls for the team you're rooting for. But Hal says he's always fair, no matter if it's a spectator, player, or even coach that doesn't agree with the play call.
The games tonight in Alabama Community College are just as important to those coaches and those kids as the games that are going to be on ESPN tonight. And that's the way you have to take it and understand it. And this is a job. They're really not mad at me. They're mad at the striped shirt. It wouldn't matter if I had it on or you had it on. It doesn't really matter. On that particular night, it's just so happens it's me. People pay to come to the game. They're going to holler and scream. And, there's a certain guideline they got to follow if there's certain areas they sit in. And the same way with the coaches. The coaches, this is their living. They're professional. Sometimes they get caught up in it and they're fighting for what, they believe for their kids. And, sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree.
If 2020 taught us anything, 2 words come to mind: being flexible and making adjustments. And due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the lingering effects of the virus still in 2021, adjustments, especially from an officiant standpoint, were put in place.
We had about 23 guys opt out this year because of it. Some of them were in the older age bracket, just didn't feel safe. I actually had a couple of young guys opt out due to having small children. I've had guys step up and drive a little further than what they normally do because I'm down officials. And the coaches have been overall very cooperative, and they have been good about keeping us abreast of game time changes.
One big adjustment for Hal during the pandemic was, like many Americans, not being able to reach out and touch loved ones near or far.
My wife and I are both, we've taken this extremely serious, and I actually went 2 months that I didn't touch my grandchildren.
Hal says last year the pandemic put a damper on those seeking interest in refereeing.
Of course, camp is the big deal now. I mean, that's from high school now or having camps, and it's an identification. It's for young guys to come in and be recognized. And do you have the ability, and are you a year away or 2 years away, or can we put you in and give you some non-conference games?
When Hal is not on the hardwood supervising those in charge of keeping the game fair, you'll find him spending time in the woods deer hunting, which he's done for over 40 years, or out on the waters from April through August, where he's a charter captain on the coast teaching people how to fish. After over 42 years, Hal Lusk says he's come a long way from his referee days, and now being a coordinator and supervisor, being fair still remains at the forefront.
I've always said that you treat people the way you want to be treated. And I'm not going to ask an official to do anything that I wouldn't do or I hadn't already done.